Hi, guys. I thought I would show you what I do sometimes whenever somebody says a scripture or something that I want to remember on the TV or on YouTube or, whatever I'm looking at. If there's a scripture that comes up and it's like, ooh, and if somebody's pointed it out, it's usually one of those kind of scriptures, you know what I mean? So a lot of times I want to remember them and be sure and highlight them. And I will, sorry, my voice. I will drag up from the bottom right just to get the notes and quick write down the scripture reference just so I have it then. I don't want to stop right then and do anything with it, but I've got it written down now, so I do done. Now, notice that it is Psalms 37, 12 through 20. So, done. Okay. Wow. Okay. I stopped early. I've already done this once, and I stopped early. I didn't do all the way to 20, but I will. What I will do is come to the scripture when I have time. Like I did that earlier this week, and now I want to come and play with it and do something with it. But I don't want to spend a lot of time. Now I could go to a lot of trouble and spend a lot of time on it, but I don't want to. I just want to do something quick. So I will, let me start a timer. I will first thing go to the I beam. Now I have this on my toolbar. If you notice down the bottom, it's the second left. But if you go to this tools, then the I select PDF text. Did you notice we now have, instead of it saying basic and advanced, it now or before it just said basic and you didn't know what that meant. Now you can see that, right? See, if I change it to basic, you see fewer items on the toolbar. If you, or whatever this thing would be called, pop up, or change it to all, then you see more things. So if sometimes I mention something that you don't have, then make sure to look and make sure that you're looking at all. Now, you tell it what you want to put on this list, and you do that back out in the documents level under the cog thing. So you would go there, and if you see something on this list that you will never ever use, then you can take it off out there on that level. But I like to have everything show up so that I can see what I can do. Even if I don't use it right away, at least I can see what I can do. If I have basic, then you're limited on what you think Zoom Notes will do. But what I think he did was, everybody was talking about how complex Zoom Notes was. So he tried to make it easier for a GoodNotes user, say, for example, because Zoom Notes does so much more than GoodNotes that he wanted to kind of ease you into the process. Totally get it. But I personally want to see all of it so that I can see, wonder what that'll do, you know what I mean? So I leave mine, if I don't forget, I always leave mine with the all selected. And so now if you look under selection tools, there's a select PDF text. I use that, and then I tap, he said it was on 14 through 20. So I select the first thing and drag it down to the end of 20. And I do copy, and then I double tap to paste the text that I just copied. And it defaults to whatever you have set under your text default. I'm going to select all. No, I think what I'll do is I'll just have it selected like this, and then go to the selection menu and go to properties, text properties, and I can make modifications here. Maybe I'm going to do it all left justified. Now, nothing changes. Whenever you use that option, it doesn't change. But if I had gone here instead, let me see if I had it selected and then clicked down under text. See, there is no apply at the bottom now. So if I change the size of it, it happens real time. But since I went to it the other way on the menu bar, I would have to hit apply. So probably this is better. I'm going to grab the right corner and drag it so that it's kind of lined up better. Like that. Of course, it's going to change as soon as I do something else. But I know that I want to change the text to be the white, but I have to select all, change it to white. Okay, then go to the fill, and I want to change that to black and apply the fill. Now I've just created white text on a black background. I want it to kind of look like a card that I have stuck down in my Bible. I don't want it to look like I wrote in my Bible, but I stuck it down in my Bible. Now, this currently does not have any kind of a border, so I'm going to go to border, and I want to add a border and make it white as well. And I also want to use rounded corners, so I'm going to click on radius corners and apply that. Then, let's see, side padding. I want to add some space around the outside edge because I don't want the text to go all the way to the outside border. So I'm going to add a little bit of side padding, and I'm just dragging from the left on the slider bar underneath that. And just tap off, and it does it. All right. Now, it's way too big. It doesn't fit in my Bible, so I know that I need to change the size of the text. So I'm going to select all again and drag and make the text a little bit smaller, and drag up the bottom of the, I'm going to call it paper. All right. I'm going to pull up the paper and then tap off, and see, now you can't see it. You can't see the white border anymore. But if I select it again and go to border shadow down at the bottom of the border screen and tap off, see, that gave me a drop shadow, so it looks like it's set apart from the page. So now I will do something like select it and twist it slightly. And now it looks like, it's something. What I probably would do is change the font to a handwriting font so it looks more like I took the time to write it. Let's go ahead and do that. Select all, and go to the fonts and go to font list and find a good handwriting font. If I go to M, I've got a lot of handwriting fonts that I wrote myself. I created myself. Let's see, try that one. Because I wanted it to look like I really did write it. So I just changed it. And now that looks like I took a white pen and wrote on a black card that I had. But of course, it's too big. See, as soon as you see, I've already done it once. That's what that is over there. If I select it again, I need to change the size again because I changed the font. Select all. Make it a little bit smaller. There. Now I want to resize the card so it's a little bit smaller. But I don't want to do that there. Heck. See, when I've got it set so that if I go to the tools, when I make it smaller, it it makes the text smaller. Where did he change that? Scale font size. See, if I turn that off, it's down here under scaling. See down here. If I turn that off, then the text is going to stay the same size. It'll just be the outside that changes. And I want to turn that off now. I want that font to not change, but I do want the size of the card to change. So now I have less top and bottom space. All right. Now I will now go and find some kind of paper clip, and I've got lots of them saved. See here, let's just do this one this time. Just tap on it and then put it so that it looks like I've paper clipped that into my Bible. Now I also, I also included this little piece of paper here. That is another image that I had put it up here and stretched it so that it looked like it was a full piece, but the bottom really does look stretched, so I don't love that. I'm going to undo that and just move it down here so that it just looks like, because it's angled, you can't tell that it's not a whole sheet. Now I could go ahead and duplicate that and drag it to the top so the top shows at the top from behind, but I need to send it to the back. Let's see, order, move to back, and I need to angle it different, move it over some. Totally unnecessary, just something to make it a little better. I don't know if I like that or not. But okay, so now if I want to underscore something, I can go back to, let's see, I want to select the text and double tap on it and select. Okay, now see that big old thing? I have reported that, and apparently that is an Apple feature, and I've reported it to Ed before, and since he didn't change it, my guess is he doesn't have control over that thing. But I've just selected the text that I want underlined, and you have to use the toolbar to do the underscore, so I just tap on that, and now it's underlined. All right. And I also wanted to round the corners just to give it more of a rounded look. I don't know why. Go back to borders, and well, I did do that. Okay, it's already done. I couldn't see it because it was selected, but if I tap off, see, now the corners are rounded. Now this particular corner rounder, it doesn't give you a radius that you can modify, but that's okay. This is a good enough. There are other places you can change the radius with a slider bar, but this one doesn't allow for that. Okay, now, and I also, in the other one, I also just wanted to put a little something at the bottom. I'll show you that. Let me go ahead and zoom out so you can see what I did previously. See, I just put that little rainbow. And I also, because I use fewer scriptures, I had space between each scripture, which I really like better, but I forgot I didn't use all of it. So there, I just to give it a little. Now see, it's underneath because I created it before. So I need to move that to the front. Move to front. I go through this every time. Let's see, order, move to front. Okay. And twist it so that it's a little bit better lined up. So it looks like that piece of paper came with a little rainbow at the bottom. But that's it. That's all I do that. And see, well, let me stop it. Now see, it took me 13 minutes to do that, but I did a lot of stuff that wasn't creation. I was talking and showing you other things. So it really would have been a whole lot faster. Now, that will stay there and it's highlighted, until I come back. And if I have more time, I'll work on it and try to maybe space things out and do things different to it. But I like it well enough that I'll leave it. Another thing that I did, but I got rid of, I did it because I just absolutely love the fill bucket. Um, but I ended up deleting it. Is I filled it with an image, the border. That's really why I put the border in the first place. I hadn't planned on having a border, but then I wanted to use the bucket to fill it um, with some pattern. But even after I did it, I didn't love it, so I got rid of it. Delete. Okay, that's it. I just wanted to show you guys that. Y'all have a great day here. Bye.